So the job itself is really varied, which is what I really like about it. There's lots of different things that you can do and that you're trained to do. So what psychologists generally say that they work at 3 different levels. So you work at an individual level, so with individual students and children, with them and for them. You can work at a group level, so that might be with whole classes or certain groups within the school. And then you can work at a whole school or systems level. So that will be things like, whatever the school improvement plan is, you might be able to feed into that. If the school has a whole school issue, for example, with mental health or returning to school after COVID, then you might be doing some work around that. So at the moment, for example, in the service that I work in, we're doing some work on trauma-informed practice and making schools a lot more trauma-informed and attachment-friendly in their behaviour management policies. So that's a whole school approach and everyone working together. You might be working on upskilling support staff so that support staff know how to work with and the kind of quality first teaching strategies for children with additional needs. Or you might be doing something like, and I'll talk about this a bit more later, I'm sure, but like staff supervision groups. So getting staff together for work discussion groups so they can offload some of the things that they find challenging about their role. So that's the kind of whole school work that we do. And that's what I find really exciting and why I love doing my job especially. But we do work a lot at individual level. So for children who have any kind of additional need, whether that's a learning need or a mental health need or emotional well-being, whatever it is, we work with them. So the school are concerned about them. They might get us involved to do some assessment work with that young person. So we might be trying to work out what their needs are, what their strengths are, what they find difficult. And then a lot of it actually is talking to young people about their experience of school and their understanding and sense of themselves and what they think and representing their views. We often talk about like person-centered approaches and keeping children's views at the center of things. And sometimes it's just a bit of a tick box exercise, but what our job can be is to involve children in the plans that are made for the support that they receive. So I often sit with kids and say, this is what we want to make better. What do you think would help? What could your teacher do? Or what could Miss do? Or what could Sir do to help you? Like at school, what could we put in place? And they come up with some really amazing, insightful things actually. So we might do some assessment work, or we might then work with children over a longer period of time in a therapeutic way. So use lots of different approaches from CBT or narrative therapy. And a lot of what we do is working with the staff and the family of the child that we're involved with. So we'd meet with staff and family together. We'd work out what was going on for that young person, what they were struggling with, and then how we can, the kind of strategies that we could put in place to support them. So very varied, lots and lots of different things. And like a typical day for me is kind of like, well, pre-lockdown anyway, and it's becoming a bit more like it again, bopping all around the borough, going from school to school, doing, like meeting about this child, going to do a consultation about this class, or doing some training. I deliver a lot of training, so all sorts of stuff really, and that's what's exciting about it.